Hey, Raiders, it's me, Mrs. Swanson, and I'm here coming from kind of a goofy team office here, fifth grade Mrs. Swanson in the back, to talk to you about a really great read that I want you to put your hands on if you get a chance. It's called Al Capone Does My Shirts. And I'm going to read you a little bit of a highlight and then I'm going to grab you that hook. While I'm reading, I want you to pay special attention to what type of hook, or maybe in your classrooms you call it leads, what type of mechanism does your author, it looks like Jennifer, does to hook you right in. Here we go. Moose Flanagan and his family moved to Alcatraz. It's a tiny island off the coast of San Francisco that houses some of the most of the country's most dangerous criminals. Moose is less than thrilled about being away from home, stuck on a cement rock where most of the population is behind bars, which seems like a totally legit reaction to this development. He's also less than thrilled about having to keep an eye on his sister who has autism, Natalie. Natalie was accepted into the Esther P. Marinoff School, which was supposed to help her, but unfortunately, she's sent back home almost immediately because she's just not adjusting to school, which means now that Moose has become her caretaker. Text to text, this reminds me of the book Rules with Catherine. The question is, what does one do with an older sister who needs constant supervision on an island infested with dangerous criminals? Here we go. Should we check out that lead? That's really where I want to take a peek. First off, it gives you a really great map here. I hope you can see some of that. Devil's Island, Friday, January 4th, 1935. Today I moved into a 12-acre rock covered with cement, topped with a bird turd and surrounded by water. Alcatraz sits smack in the middle of the bay. So close to the city of San Francisco, I can hear them call the score at the baseball game on the Marina Green. Okay, it's not that close, but still, I'm not the only kid who lives here. There is my sister Natalie, except she doesn't count. And there are 23 other kids who live on the island because their dads work as guards or cooks or doctors or electricians for the prison, like my dad does. Plus, there are a ton of murderers, hitmen, conmen, stick up men, embezzlers. Oh, you get it. Maybe even an innocent man or two, although I doubt that. The convicts we have are the kind no other prison would want. I never knew prisons could be so picky, but I guess they can. You get to Alcatraz by being the worst of the worst. Unless you're me. I came here because my mother said I had to. I want to be here, like I want the poison oaks in my private. But apparently no one cares because now I'm Moose Flanagan, Alcatraz Island boy. All so my sister can go to the Esther P. Marinoff School where kids have macaroni salad in their hair and wear clothes on the inside out, and there isn't a chalkboard or a single book in sight. Not that I've ever been to Esther P. Marinoff, but I'm thinking that's what it might be like. I peek out the front window of our new apartment and I look up to see a little glass room lit bright in the dark sky. This is the dock guard tower. Popcorn stand on stilts where somebody's dad sits with enough firepower to blow us all to smithereens. The only guns on the island are up high in the towers or the catwalks because one flick of the wrist and a gun is carried by a guard is a gun carried by a criminal. The keys to all the boats are kept up there for the same reason. They even have a bathroom in each tower, so the guards, they don't have to come down to go to the bathroom. Besides the guard tower, there's water all around, black and shiny, almost like tar. A full moon cuts a white path across the bay, and the wind blows, making something creak, like a buoy clang in the distance. My dad, he's out there too. He has guard duty on another tower somewhere on the island. My dad's an electrician, though, for Pete's sake. What's he doing playing prison guard? My mom is in her room unpacking, and Natalie is sitting on the kitchen floor running her hands through her button box. She knows more about those buttons than it seems possible to know. If I hide one behind my back, she can take one look at her box and name the exact button that's missing. So you're going to kind of get the drift that they're in an interesting environment, not because his dad's a criminal, but he's working for the prison. That leads him into some interesting situations. Please check this one out. I've got multiple copies in my room if you need them.